Hi, my name is Zachary Bradford. This is my major project, Project 4 for EDFD 5043, Intro to Instructional Technology. And my project is over artificial intelligence in education. Artificial intelligence, or AI, can be defined as the theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, and translation between languages. And in this project's case, it would be the ability for artificial intelligence to facilitate and improve student learning. A brief history of artificial intelligence in education involves intelligent tutoring systems, or ITSs. These were the first AI systems that were teaching people information. And then a little bit later in the 90s, interactive learning environments came around. Intelligent tutoring systems, like I said, were the first things around, and these have been under development for the last 20 to 25 years. So they've been around a while. In this program, the student is taught by a lecturer, or the program. It's just a question and answer thing, a drill and practice, if you will. It's just one-on-one, the student and the lecturer, question, answer, question, answer. These programs specialize in identifying students' strengths and weaknesses, and also their preferred style of learning. This is through, just remembering, it's your program throughout the entire course, so it knows, what you're good at, what you're not good at, but it could also figure out what style of teaching it would have to do to get you to answer the most questions right. ITSs are mainly restricted to areas of math and science because they kind of have more black and white answers, yes or no type deal. In ITSs, it is a lot easier than other AI systems, to measure learning improvements. Interactive learning environments, or ILEs, on the other hand, instead of having a lecturer, the student actually learns by constructing his own knowledge. That would mean, instead of information being provided to you by the program, you're in the program, interacting with it to solve a problem. An example of this are modern-day flight simulators, in which the learner or student learns how to fly an airplane through the simulator. The simulator isn't giving information and then testing you on knowledge to fly an airplane. It's actually teaching you to fly an airplane. In this program, the learner is assisted by a tutor, which in this example would be an experienced pilot. I found a lot of ways that artificial intelligence can potentially impact education today. And first, it can automate basic activities in the classroom. It can adapt software to meet student needs. It can identify areas where courses need to improve, provide additional support for students, also provide helpful feedback, make finding information more streamlined and easy. Artificial intelligence can and probably will change the role of teachers in the classroom, whether it's in the near future or the very distant future. Artificial intelligence can alter trial and error learning, and also how schools recruit and interact with students. As far as automating basic activities, artificial intelligence can completely eliminate grading from being something that teachers have to spend time and energy doing. Teachers, whether they go home and do it or they spend their prep periods doing it, grading takes up a lot of time, and artificial intelligence can just completely get rid of it. You just put the students are doing their programs and they're getting their grades that way. So, with all your coursework being through artificial intelligence, the teachers wouldn't even have to mess with it. This would allow for more teacher and student interaction, which would obviously be a good thing. It would allow the teacher to focus more on student learning instead of student coursework or grading. It would allow the teacher more time to prepare group projects for class interaction. It would also, in general, allow the teacher more time to prepare for class. So, like I said, instead of spending a prep grading, you can be thinking about what you want your next class to look like. Artificial intelligence can adapt software to student needs, just like in the ITSs. It can individualize learning, responding to the needs of the student. So it knows what questions you get right or wrong, what you need to work on, what level you're on. And something like this already exists as far as individualized learning is concerned. That's Khan Academy, where, in theory, you can have students in the same class, but all learning at their own levels. It can identify areas where courses need to improve. If a teacher is giving a program or giving a lesson, I should say, it would help them become aware of confusing material. So, if there are students that, let's say 80% of students get a question wrong, it would automatically alert you that this material needs to be gone over again. Maybe that's where the teacher comes in to provide the extra touch that the program can't offer. Something like this is already out there. It's called Coursera. Another thing that AI can do to change how schools are today, it can provide extra practice after school. So if you're not doing everything you need to do in class, or if you just need that extra time, log on at home and you can be getting the practice after school. Obviously, the AI would alert teachers, who could then alert the parents if you were behind. So you can go back and, either practice or learn the fundamentals that will help you achieve in school. Artificial intelligence provides helpful feedback. I've always mentioned this. I mentioned this a few times already as far as individualized students are concerned, but also it could help give feedback for the entire course. Once the students finish a course, you can go back and look at, 80% of students felt that this was the most difficult subject, or every student in the class gets this. And then also can provide an early alert. So if a student or students in general are falling behind, it could ping you and you could jump on that before it gets too out of hand. Artificial intelligence also already affects how we find information. Google, when you look up something in Google, you don't have to type in your city every time, but because Google adapts the results based on your location. Excuse me, automatic lights. And then another example is Siri adapts to your needs and commands. If you're always asking Siri for specific things, she learns that you need these things. This can be applicable in the classroom in that, as far as adapting to needs, like I've mentioned multiple times already, these programs, these artificial intelligence learning programs, know exactly what you need help with and how you learn. Artificial intelligence will change the role of teachers in the classroom. It'll shift the role of teacher to facilitator, in that, she can focus, or he or she can focus on interaction with students, making group projects, taking extra time with students that need extra help. They'd also become the AI program experts. They'll all probably need to know exactly how these programs work. And then again, like I said, teachers would focus on the human interaction and the hands-on experience that sometimes complements these AI programs. A flipped classroom model is a good example. A lot of schools that are going online are doing this, and I have a feeling that will be the main what classrooms will look like in the future. Artificial intelligence would make trial and error learning less intimidating. Students don't like the idea of failing, and in a simulated environment, you won't have to feel embarrassed about getting questions wrong in front of your peers. It's judgment-free. You can be on your program getting only 4 out of 10 right time and time again, but it wouldn't intimidate you from trying again. And then, eventually, without shutting down, a student can continue to learn and eventually get to where they need to be. Artificial intelligence would also change how schools interact and recruit with students. Artificial intelligence can guide a transition from high school to college. They can, they would know what you're good at, and then they can, recommend a degree program based on your strengths and weaknesses. Also, they can recommend colleges based on location. Then once you get into college, your AI programs that have been with you this entire time could recommend coursework that you could succeed in. A couple points that I want to hit again as far as the future of artificial intelligence in education are concerned. One interesting fact I learned is that this article I read said that universities will become relics. They're getting more and more expensive every year. I think the figure I read was that they are rising in costs equivalent to that of healthcare. So artificial intelligence could possibly eliminate colleges and universities. Teachers would take on the role of facilitators. I'm sure you'll still need some teaching background, but the program will be doing the teaching and you'll just be facilitating the student learn. And then a big one, students in the same classroom will progress at different paces. That would allow truly no student to get left behind. If a student completed their coursework over the year, they'd move on, and maybe a student that needed more time would get that extra time, but they could still be in the same classroom. That was my project on artificial intelligence in education, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.